more and more individuals and organisations are telling the council they don't want asset sales to pay for the city's billion-dollar debt, with the unions now jumping on the bandwagon. The idea of selling council assets continues to be a prominent talking point at the Christchurch City Council. The long-term plan submissions are being heard at the council chamber, with many individuals and organisations displaying their thoughts about assets disappearing, with the proposal not sitting comfortably with submitters during the hearings.
This is a doctrinaire approach and does not make economic sense for the people of Christchurch.
I do not support the selling of assets. This is short-sighted and better alternatives exist.
For short-term gain, we lose ownership and control of assets. And indeed, I just see the benefits of the assets we have leaking away from the city, away from the area, away from the country.
It seems premature then to be selling assets to fund an ambitious capital spending program which the council itself admits that it doesn't know whether it can deliver on.
Last week, Green List MP Eugenie Sage was not supporting the plan for sales.
We think the council is being quite hasty in proposing to sell $750 million of its assets in year one of the plan, given the considerable uncertainty about the council's financial position.
And the former Deputy Prime Minister and Christchurch Cathedral rebuild advocate Jim Anderton is also against the proposal, hoping the council will listen.
I must say I've always thought that if selling assets was the answer, it must have been a stupid question.
Now the New Zealand Public Service Association has jumped on board, saying they too disagree with the proposed asset sales involving chunks of the Christchurch International Airport, Orion and Littleton Port being sold.
The council should not sell assets. The PSA considers that the privatisation should not go ahead and believe that if there was a lengthy consultation process that took place with members of the public and the community, then that would come back with its own answer that the assets should not be sold.
The Christchurch City Council is dealing with a $1.2 billion shortfall. So to get back on track and into the black, the council is looking for financial advice on selling key assets to help pay for the city's rebuild. The PSA is the largest trade union in New Zealand, with near to 6,000 workers throughout the Canterbury region. They say if the idea went ahead, it wouldn't help the city and community in the long run.
The costs to the whole community for an asset that had been sold outside of the council's authority increased dramatically. So that's what happens when assets get sold, is that the private companies want to make more profits out of it, and that then doesn't focus on giving the return back to the community.
The PSA says they've looked at the council's common sense plan and believes it's a better alternative. However, they support a more comprehensive discussion with ratepayers before they'll sign a deal.
You know what, there's an opportunity for this council to do some great things, and there is a responsibility on this council that is huge, and we don't for a moment underestimate the complexity of that. There is an opportunity, and we would strongly urge the council of the need to further consult on this plan, to actually to spend more time with the community.
And the Christchurch Mayor says it's all about finding a way to support the current assets as well.
What happens when you haven't got enough money to fix your infrastructure? Like, you know, so your assets are under the ground because they're pipes or they're above the ground and they're roads. What happens when you haven't got enough money to fix them in a reasonable period of time? Are we not allowed to look to one form of our asset to help fund the other asset? In terms of priority, that's the question that we're asking.
There are more deputations at the City Council to come, with assets likely to be a topic for debate. Hearings finish up here at the end of the week. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.